So today we're going to talk about a building. But before I talk about this, I want to make sure that I tailor my presentation to the audience here. So I want to just show of hands, how many owners or developers in the audience? Raise your hand. Okay, we got one. Okay. Okay, any architects? I know there's a lot of architects. Okay, there we go. Can't pick on them too much. Any engineers? All right, I'm an engineer, mechanical engineer. Okay, interior designers. Any interior designers? Oh, they're my favorites. Okay, any lead consultants? I know there's some lead consultants in here. Thanks for being here. Okay, last question. How many live and work in a building? Raise your hand. Okay, I got the right audience. Good job. But what we're going to do is talk about this building that I was deeply involved with. Jonathan helped me get started on it. It is a 6,000 square foot medical office building located in Colleyville, Texas, which is about 25 miles that way. It was built in the year of 2023, started in January, finished in December, and it is certified through the USGBC as a LEED Gold building. And that's what we're going to be talking about this. So let me show you some little features here. As you can see on the front of this building, there's fossilized stones, and I want you to keep that in mind when we go through this because I'm going to touch on it later. The front of the building's got this beautiful local stone that we put on this building. There's the building there. Now this is going to have kind of a, hopefully it works here, the drone version of this building is flying around. It's a shed type of roof on it. Plenty of real estate for solar. That's the next phase of the project. You see the fossilized stone there? Again, keep that in mind. All natural wood, all natural cedar, Austin stone, great utilization of the property. The front faces north, the back in the south, very little windows. So I believe it's positioned in the site for optimal energy efficiency. When you get started on a project like this, when I went to Jonathan, I said, I have the intent. I want to do something different. I want to demonstrate and showcase to the community that this can be done. You have to come up with a vision or the why behind why you want to do this. Anything you do in life, if you don't have that, you got to get discouraged and you got to give up. So we came up with this vision statement is to integrate and implement eco-friendly, efficient building concepts. You need results. We want resulting in a positive impact outside the building, a positive impact for the human occupants that are using the building and visiting the building, and a high impact on the natural environment. That was the why behind this, the passion. So when we got everybody together and we start interviewing the people that are going to use it, other people that have built one, research and so forth, and you start brainstorming all this. What you want in a green building, a lot of definition, it kind of fit into these categories. Occupants, experience, which is very important, and operational efficiencies. Now, if you look on this, the experience, they want light and bright, open concept, natural lights, they want it clean, they want that connection with nature. Now, if you look at that, the experience, I thought, well, they want a greenhouse. You know, they want all glass, they want birds chirping, they want butterflies flying around. It's nice and it's important, but it's not the thing. If you look at the operational efficiencies, which I, as a mechanical engineer, deeply involved in, we look at the black and white, the energy efficiencies, the reduction in waste, and so forth. And if you list that, that's easy to do if we built a box building with a roof, lots of insulation, efficient HVAC equipment, no windows, you got a prison. So you got a prison on one side, greenhouse on the other side, and you need both to have a green building. You got to have both. I'm sorry. So you need to add them together. And I believe if you put the two concepts together, the experience and the efficiencies, you got to create a green building. Now you say, I'm going to have a green building. What are we going to use to make the green building? You got to put a team together to go forward with this. We use the USGBC LEED process. They got a very prescriptive method to go through this process. I highly recommend using their process, using their scorecard. it's the map to use. So when you go through this, you got to put the team together. On the experience side, you architects, that's where you guys come in, and you are creating an environment. You get the civil engineer, the landscape architect's very important, but the interior and exterior designers are very important. They kind of put the bow on the package on the experience side. I highly recommend a good interior designers on your green building. They're going to create the wow factor in that. Okay, on that side of the experience, they're creative, artistic. They give you that warm feel in that building. It's a pleasant area that you want to visit. Now, if you go over to the operational efficiency side, here you get the engineers, and the commissioning agents. They're pretty much, they're logical, they're analytical, they're black and white, they're scientific. They want to see the data before they make the decision. Again, in order to accomplish this, you have to have both sides of the equation. You can't do it with just working on one side or the other. We tend, myself included, be more on the efficiency side, but the experience is so important. Rethink what you're doing in a green building, because if the visitors and the staff gets excited, they will want to know about that HVAC efficient unit that you put in that building. How do you get indoor air quality and so forth? We got to create the experience. Now, a lot of personalities in these groups, you know that. How do you get all these to move forward in the right direction with the end in mind? And that's a green building. In our case, we want it to certify it as a LEED Gold building. This is the most important part of my presentation. In order to make this happen, the first person you put under contract to drive this project is a lead consultant. We had a quality lead consultant that was first under contract, was the first to drive the project, to meet with the sub-consultants, to help us with the selection and so forth. That is so important. It's not an afterthought hiring a lead consultant. It's the beginning of the process. So what do they do? What does the lead consultant do? Why we pay them? And here's the thing. If you want to lead building, you're going to use the United States Green Building Council scorecard. You sit down with them and say, what is obtainable? What's in your budget? What's the return on investment? They'll help you fill out this one-page scorecard that you'll use throughout the process. They complete the scorecard. They help you with the selection. They're in the review process, not the entire review process. On the front end, to make sure you're covering the lead credits, and on the final review process, make sure you have all the information. The part of the submittal process, which is very important on the implementation side of it, and they submit and get the approvals. That's what you hire them for. Very important. They're, again, the glue that keeps the team together. Very important. Lead consultant. So as the implementation phase, the lead consultant comes in, and like I said, they submit all the credits. Sometimes they do the building commissioning, which very important in the process of the construction of the green building. Make sure the components, the systems working according to the spec. They do some of that. You can hire them to do some of that. Like I said, review submittals and so forth. You can get them to do some energy calculations, that part of the scope. The load calculations and energy modeling is very important because it gives you a cost-benefit analysis. A lot of times you get an excuse like, a LEED building costs too much. No, it doesn't, because you've got to look at the cost-benefit analysis on a larger scale, a 10-year life cycle on these systems. If you look at that, it doesn't cost anymore. If you look at the initial cost, don't attempt a green building. You have to look at lifetime cycle costs. What I like about it, the LEED process gives you a very clean construction site, especially in a medical office building. They got a construction indoor quality specifications. We put in HEPA filters there to clean the air when we were manufacturing or we were constructing the interior of this building. We had ventilation systems working on it all the time. We covered the ductwork. Very clean site and approved out on the end product. Here's another thing too. This is important too. Besides hiring the lead consultant, first thing. When I talked to a lead consultant, I says, what is the most challenging thing being a lead consultant? They said, getting the data. Look, I got getting the data. Here's what we did. This is phenomenal. We took the scorecard that we filled out. We have the spec book. We put it in their contractual agreements that their responsibility is to provide on a timely manner the necessary lead information for the lead consultant based on the scorecard and the specifications, and it tied to their payout. So we did not have any problem getting data. We were certified at LEED Gold before we got a certificate of occupant. So this was never heard of before. And I want to say one other thing on this process. Now, I don't know if you guys ever heard this before. We're proud of this. The lead consultant we hired has done 150 of these projects. And I asked her, how did we do in the process of collecting the data? On a scale to a 10, that you walk on water, and 1, you suck, she gave us an 8.5. I thought that was good. But here's the neat thing behind it. Before we moved any of the dirt on that site, before I signed a multi-million-dollar contract with the financial institute, we had 50 LEED credits approved. 50 LEED design credits approved. You only need 60 to get gold. So at that point, I said, whoa, yeah, 60, we need 10 more. We got another 14, we left probably 4 on the table. But I was so proud of that. And that goes back to hiring the lead consultant first, getting part of the process. You're ahead of the game. It's not an afterthought. So many times I hear, you're done with the project, 2 years, they're still trying to get the data to submit the credit. Not in our case. Here's another thing that I hear for. I can't do a lead project because we don't have enough experienced staff out there, sub-consultants, contractors, general contractors. The city that I'm building has never done a lead project before. Let me tell you something. On all that project team I had, not one firm had that much experience in the lead project. Not one. They've never built one. They really didn't understand it. The lead consultant taught them on the way. The city of Colleyville, when it was built, they were just the basic conventional building code standards. And when I was done, they were all thank me for teaching them, the team, the lead consultants, that they said they completed a LEED Gold building. Not one of them. So this excuse like, oh, we can't build one because of this situation. I need to move on here. Now, the experience in natural light and some pictures here. This is looking to west of the building. I'm going to go quick here. That's the west of the building. The other one's east of the building. You can see light and bright. You can see the outdoors on each of these pictures. This is the other corner. You can see the outside. Then the connection with nature. There's that fossilized stone pulled in. Nice fireplace, LED fireplace, energy efficient fireplace. If you want to sit there, you can sit on the park bench. It looks like you're outside. We got quotes in there. Here's one, adopt the pace of nature. Another picture on the outside. We got lighting efficiencies, all LEDs. Water usage, we've got a rainwater harvesting on the back of the building there. I can talk to you more after this. We got this water detection system for any leaks. Mechanical systems, here's a top view of the roof. Plenty of room from solar. The rooftop units, you can see them all neatly spaced, all standardized, high efficiencies. Utility panels, tankless water here, efficient 98%. Here's the results. Tenant revenue, if you look at revenue per patient on this facility, they're up 40% on this medical office building. That anybody comes in there, on average, spends 40% more because they like coming to this building. The property value, we had enough equity during the construction project based on the equity that was provided in the LEED standards. And the last things is the water use index, 70%, 72% less than your average medical office building, 49% less than the energy use, gas and electricity. And the bottom line is this is the right thing to do. And Jonathan, I got 1 minute and 20 seconds, and I don't have it here because I have a time-lapse construction of this building. It didn't show up. Okay, thank you so much. Hopefully, I'm here available to take any questions. I managed to get in 15 minutes, but lots of information on our building. Please come out and visit us May 15th on a Thursday. Thank you.